going to tell a little shaggy dog story. About a year ago, I'd seen this for a long time, but it was about a year ago. I was finally ready to deal with it. I had a little kind of a little pearly something on my face, and I just kind of suspicious. I didn't want to deal with it, though I was busy, and finally went to my dermatologist, and she said it was basal cell, which is, she said, if you're going to have cancer, this is the one I would have. It didn't feel like a consolation to me. And she says, but it's on your face, so we want to, if it was on your arm, we'd just take it out, but it's on your face, we want to, it's kind of special, it's a sensitive place. We'll have you do this kind of surgery called Mohs surgery, where you go in and they take a small amount of skin, they're very cautious, and then right there, while you're waiting, they have a pathology lab, and they test the piece of skin, and they see, are all the margins clear, or are they not? And you just wait around, and then they might have to take a little more. So I'm thinking, it's not such a big deal. And I take a day off of work. I wasn't even going to take a day off. I was just going to take a couple hours, and I was going to be, so I'm already laying out my strategies, right, for how I'm going to get through this. And it's really hard for me to ask for help. So that's something. So I asked for a little bit of help. Normally I would have just driven myself. I'm that sort of stoic, and it's really hard for me. So I did ask a friend to come and drive me, but I told her not to stay. So I let myself have a little bit, but not a whole lot of help. And I brought a blanket with me because they said it was cold in the waiting room. And it was a special blanket that gave me a lot of comfort. And so I go into the surgery room, and I have this marvelous surgeon who, she's one of those people who are like a samurai master. She's so clear, and you feel in her presence that if anything difficult's going to happen, she's the one you want to be captain of the ship, that kind of person. So I go in, and I'm thinking it's going to be okay. They cut out the skin, and then they cauterize it. So it's right near my nose. I'm lying there, and I'm smelling my own burning flesh, like right here, and I'm just thinking, okay, this is happening. It seemed all right, not a problem yet. And I go into the waiting room, and then there's a whole. I was the first person. I come first person in the day, and as the day's proceeding, more and more, more and more. Like in some sort of, all of, like a automobile accident. All the victims are laid out in this. We've all got bandages on our face, and we're all hunched down. It's really, really cold in this room, so we're all really cold and hunched down. We've got bandages on our face. I'm still keeping it together. And they go in, and they lay down, they lay down this piece of paper on you that's got a drawing of your cancer, and then they have a red mark of where it's still not a clear margin. So I see it, and it's got, a red mark. And I say, so sorry, it's just a little bit of a margin here. We just have to get this one part. So I'm still fine, and I go out, and so basically I'm getting another cancer diagnosis. And then I go out, and I notice I'm kind of hardening. I'm just steeling myself for this. And then I go in again, it's not clear again, and then I go out, and I come back, and it's the third round, and I'm still not clear, and there's cracks in my facade, I'm not able to keep it together. And go out, I'm waiting, I'm not even looking at anyone in the room anymore. I'm trying to so fiercely hold my situation together with my will. And I go back in, and for the fourth time, and it's still not clear. And I completely fall apart. Or I don't really fall apart, I just, my facade of stoicism and strength, I couldn't keep myself safe. I had to be this dog. I had to fall into the life that was here. In this life right now, I'm losing part of my face, and I don't know how much I'm going to lose, and I don't know how far it's going to go, and I don't know what I'll look like afterwards. And that's where I am now. And as the tears are streaming down my face, the nurse, of course, the nurse was having a hard time. I could see that she was uncomfortable with my crying, and so she offered me Ambien. But actually, she was the one that needed it. Because there was at that point, I was starting to relish it. It was starting to be interesting, and because I thought, this is out of my control. I can't manage this. And there was a sense of relief there, of letting my life have me, that was almost delicious in its voluptuousness. Here I am in this dire situation. And I go out again, waiting and it's lunchtime now, so they take a break and they say, oh, go get some lunch. I think this is not going to happen. So I'm just like, but I'd let myself have a piece of candy from the candy dish. And I'm just like, I'm just there then. I'm just there. And I'm starting to look at people in the room with me, my other mates, with bandages all over their faces. By this time, my friend, who I had told it would just be an hour or two, by now it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I go in for the 5th time, and they said, your friend's been calling. She's really worried about you. And we told her what the situation was, and she says she's just coming. She's just going to come. And the 5th time, I have it done. I smell the burning flesh again. I go back out, and I come back in, and she says, there's still more.
Oh my God.
And each time it was like, the Sumerian myth about Inanna, where something else, as she has to go into the underworld. And each step, something has to be given up. She takes off her jewelry. She takes off her necklace. She takes off her wig. And by the time she gets all the way there, she's naked. And at that point, I've just gone through. I'm just taking off one more protection of how I'm trying to manage this situation. And at this point, I'm just completely. I've given myself up to the life I have right now, the kind of dog I am right now. And I go back in for the 6th surgery. And this time the surgeon, she's really with me. And we've developed a relationship by now. We're friends. We've been through this 6 times, And I'm crying again. And she offers me some Ambien. And I looked at her and I said, I just don't want to miss it. I don't want to take it. I don't want to miss it. And she looked at me and she said, I know what you mean. It's like, we want our life, no matter what it is. We want to be awake for it. We want to be here for it. We want to feel it and taste it. Even those searing difficult it feels like, and you actually won't be the person that you were. You actually won't have the life you had. You don't know what life will come. And I went back into the waiting room. No one else was there. It was just me. I was the first person there. I was the last person to leave. And I came back in for the last time, and they said, the woman bringing me in, she was kind of a spirit that ferried me into, like a ferryman ferrying me. And she said, she was just jubilant, and I knew it was okay. And she said, it's clear, it's clear. And I'm walking through, and everyone says, it's clear. And I'm crying, and then someone else in the office staff starts weeping too. Like, we made it. But I think it's to say that no matter what circumstances arise in your life, either sitting on this cushion, your interior world, or the exterior world, and actually there's no difference. It's one whole field of being, that you'll be okay. You'll walk through it, you'll be okay. And you'll be the dog that you are.